yo, what are you doing right now?
The big V. Look, man.
All right, man. Let's just jump right into this shit.
Make some time. I will tell you, I'm not surprised because when did Miami let him go? 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
Week and a half?
Yep. About 10 days
Stephen
ago.
Ross, that whole Miami organization, they've been shit talking this dude for the entire time.
Yep.
And he has said not a word. And I'm thinking either he's about to drop something crazy on these guys and they're trying to defame him ahead of time. They're trying to just destroy his reputation when he drops something. Or this guy, I was giving him credit, like, you know what? He's gonna take the high road and he's just gonna go on and move on to the next job. Either way, I mean, it wasn't looking good for the Dolphins. You know what I mean? But now we come to find out, and we're gonna get into the story because you definitely have more time to read it than I have. That it's not just the Dolphins. This is, we know it's a league-wide issue.
Yes.
But some of these allegations are mind-blowing. Not surprising, but the fact that they're making their way to the light.
Yeah, like what I found, I hadn't, John. I'll be honest, bro. This is why, like, I'm so thankful that like we do a podcast together, and then adding that because I hadn't even thought of the fact that they were preemptively striking against Brian Flores. Like I hadn't even registered that as a thing, bro. Like to keep it 100 with you, like I was like, oh, like they were, because it was like I remember during the season it was like the whole Tua issue, and it was like, oh, it was Stephen Ross that had a problem with him, and then right after they fired him, it was like, oh no, Stephen Ross wanted to test Tua a bunch of times for all his alleged body changing and all this shit because he's a professional athlete that works out and has a trainer, like he makes money, like his body changing is totally different than like a 50-year-old man's body changing. Like Tua's still a growing kid, you know what I mean? Like it's like all these weird little things coming out about him. And I hadn't even put, until you said that, I was like, that's a hell of a coincidence, right? That's either one, a hell of a coincidence, or they were already trying to destroy his reputation, right? Which is why he's the only coach that was interviewing for other jobs that had a winning record, right? I think he's like right at 50%, right? I think he's like 49% total winning percentage. The last 2 years was like 10-6 and 10-7 with a hurt quarterback and a quarterback carousel last year. 10-7 this year while losing, no offensive line, and losing Tua for like 7 games. So, and putting that team together, figuring it out, like that to me is a hot commodity of a coach, right? Like just, and take away like the feelings about him and all that stuff. You put that on your resume. I was like, oh, this guy could be a good head coach, and then I was like, and then all this stuff started coming out. And then I remember watching like clips of ESPN where they're changing their narrative around Brian Flores, right? They're like, this whole time we heard it was Stephen Ross with the issue. I guess it was really Brian Flores. You know what I mean? Because the Adam Schefters and the thank you, Mr. Chairman, people of the world, were like, oh, we got our talking points now. You know what I mean? Like that's the way and it wasn't even, again, like completely not putting race into it, right? Like in that moment, I was like, look, I am that person that likes to go, hey, yo, that's race. You know what I mean? I do like to do that, right?
Oh,
like jokingly.
Absolutely. That's what you do.
Yeah. And I do. With that, I was not thinking that at all. 100% not. I was like, oh, that's interesting, right? Because like I hadn't, he's no longer the Dolphins head coach. Who cares? He'll land somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But then those stories start coming out, and then this happens, right? With everything, I was like, holy shit! Like, let's get one thing clear of what I think he ended his career today. I think he will never be a head coach in the NFL because of it. I don't know how, because you're literally calling the entire league and every owner and every like executive racist, right? Like that's what he's doing with this lawsuit, because he's suing the entire NFL, all 32 owners, the league, everybody. That's it. Like you don't get to sue the person you're trying to get hired with and then expect to get hired. He ended his career today.
No, I mean, absolutely. Who's going to want to hire him?
Nobody.
This is a career-ending move.
Yeah,